EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Las Vegas Raiders. Bitter rivals going back to their AFL days in the 1960s. The Chiefs and Raiders are underway. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. He'll drop to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got a man complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Tyquan Thornton, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Raiders go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And that makes it 7-zip Vegas. On is the Raider kickoff unit now, as they will send this one away. Kadarius Toney going to elect to bring this one out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Here's a diving catch right side. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And not all spectacular catches are the result of a pass that maybe was not thrown quite right. Sometimes it's thrown in the perfect spot, and you have to just go get it. And he did that right there.
No fear there in the middle of the field. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months, not weeks, months.
And I think the challenge they put upon themselves is, we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor? The winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Max Crosby, from that outside linebacker spot, gets in there. It's a loss of 9. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes, the ball popped in the air and intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
So that time the pressure got home just as he was releasing the football and caused the pick.
And what it did was it disrupted that fragile balance of the mechanics of throwing the football. You know, from the footwork to being able to actually throw it downfield. If one piece of that puzzle gets disrupted, it affects the entire chance of success.
They'll come out throwing here on first down.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in week 5. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. This defense for the Chiefs, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Carlson able to put this one through.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Here's Tony to return it as he brings it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
From the 31, Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Well, Mahomes finding his burner, Hardman for the KC first.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Mahomes now to throw. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete.
And he will have a Chiefs first down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked up by Devine Diablo. And the Raiders are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far. And that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
Escaping the pressure right. He hits Adams complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
And that's a nice throw right there. And I'll tell you what I've seen in recent times and actually watched a presentation in the offseason from a college offensive coordinator that showed about 10 different drills that he runs with his quarterbacks to show them how to get out of the pocket, how to get comfortable when they're doing so, and to make plays under that type of duress. That's an example of what we're seeing in colleges delivered to the NFL.
The Raiders at 15-1 on the year. And I tell you, it has been a few months now since they've tasted defeat, and they are without question the hottest team in football.
And I'm really not sure who's going to beat them right now because, to me, they have to be the favorites to go all the way because they're not just beating teams, they're dominating them. It's been fun to watch them play, not just in their winning, but how they're getting it done.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Steps away. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number one. 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points.
He's got a man complete. A big play there for KC. 77 yards.
We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
Edwards-Helaire fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there.
His 16th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs have cut it back within a score. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And that'll make it 13-7. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game.
And Abdullah will not try to bring it out.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they can very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Back to throw again. Hard throw, incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
Dancing to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mahomes. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
A nightmare of a first half for him, and that's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
It's 2nd and 7 from the 9.
They defer to White out of the shotgun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Eluding the pressure right.
And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown.
An 11-yard touchdown. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that can be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
Back to the air on second down. It's Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Max Crosby. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. They'll set up a throw. And that'll be caught by Tony. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Well, Jarius Sneed up to make the play defensively.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
2nd down, Jacobs once more.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Raiders are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
They go play fake. Mahomes. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
While the ultimate result was an incomplete pass, they sure look like a well-coached team because once he got outside of the pocket, the scramble rules come into effect. And a lot of the guys who ran deep routes, they come back closer to the line of scrimmage. And the running back usually runs a check down. He took it deep, and they gave it a big shot and came up unsuccessful.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Mahomes. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first half scores just like this one.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 45-yard line. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And, oh, it'll be intercepted.
Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Raiders will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. We have 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there.
So we have reached halftime here in Vegas with the Raiders on top.
As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. It'll be the Chiefs football to begin quarter number 3, and they trail here as we are back underway now on EA Sports.
Here's Tony to return it as he brings it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
And my goodness, another interception.
It's Kyler Duggar who picks it, and the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, I see you reaching for the white flag. Put it down. I don't want you throwing it, but I understand why, because if you do, you're hoping they might actually stop this game because we're in blowout territory right now. That interception just surrendered any momentum they built up in the locker room during halftime. So game plan, it's in the garbage. Time to try something new in this one.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 2nd down, they'll run with White. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Well, they went back to him, but the results were similar, so I highly doubt that he'll get another opportunity here on 3rd and long.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And they'll get him down right around the 16.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He's got his man, that's Hardman.
And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful. There's a nice pickup right there. And after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line. Now it's Mahomes again. And the Raiders have got him.
Penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
On play action, it's Mahomes.
That's complete to Tony. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. A lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the 3rd quarter. And they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
Mahomes to throw once more. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A very solid gain of 27.
You have to ask the question, where was the help? Because it's a little surprising to me that he'd find that much room to run this close to the end zone. He doesn't quite get there, but he sets his guys up with a 1st and goal.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Another try after the 1st down sack. Mahomes looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Chiefs get a bit closer. And this is blocked. Oh, the Raiders have it. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. He's at the 30. 10. And he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. That is a play that you just do not see very often. Maybe a couple times a year, the blocked extra point return for 2.
You can't afford to give anyone a free run at the kicker. Oftentimes, it's going to bounce off his hands or chest and head the other direction.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. That's caught by Waller out left side. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he's going to be met at about the 43.
Does a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
They run straight ahead here with White. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. This is caught inside the 15. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Flush to his right. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And after all those wins that they've reeled off, it seems that they finally have met their match in a big fourth quarter hole. But still, what a run it's been. It feels like they have not lost in forever. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
White will cross the line. He's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Well, they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Here's Mahomes to throw. That's caught left side by Hardman.
And he will have a Chiefs first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline. because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. Caught. Kelsey, left side. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 35. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Eluding the pressure, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Max Crosby, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. To try again after the sack. Mahomes. Throw right side going to be caught by Hardman. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on third down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Now Mahomes got to have this one. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Second and goal from the 6 this time. And they take a knee. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? And they will take a knee here.